I was just thinking, which one is worse? Living with a full-time alcoholic, because I grew up, my father was an alcoholic, but he was a binge drinker. He didn't sit up drinking like the alcoholics I know. From the time they get up in the morning to the time they go to bed at night. I've been very close to several alcoholics like that in my past. I had, several best friends that drank like that. They would come and stay with me. I had, my last partner was like that. The worst case of alcoholism I've ever seen. God. And so I'm thinking, which one would be worse? Like, as far as the impact on your life. And that's all going to depend on who you are, how established your life is already when they get in it, who you are, what do you have, are you solid, are you just barely hanging by a thread when you get with them? A lot of things are going to factor into it. Oh my God. It's the last thing I needed. But as far as terms of which one's worse, living with an alcoholic, how's that going to impact your life, how dysfunctional they can be and all that stuff, honestly, or a narcissist, a full-on, especially covert narcissist, especially that type. Which one would be worse? Living with an alcoholic is very dysfunctional. And before I got in my last relationship, I had other people very close to me that were living in alcoholic relationships. It was very difficult on them. Very, very hard. And they stayed isolated a lot. There were a lot of things I didn't understand about this person close to me and her relationship. All those years, certain way that she lived her life that I didn't understand. Until I got in a relationship with a full-time alcoholic. I've been around alcoholics off and on all my life. Growing up, yada yada. My first husband drank a lot, but he quit drinking when we got married. I had another best friend, a dude that I ran with for years. He was a chef. He was a severe alcoholic. I've been around a lot of alcoholics off and on in my life. Dated alcohol, but I guess since I was a child, never did I have to live with one 24/7 until my very last relationship at 40 years old. So all those years had gone by where I kind of pretty much kept, you know what I'm saying? I've always kind of been that way and kept that balance. Yeah, I had toxic friends. Who am I to judge? Y'all do what you do. I do what I do. We all fuck up. We all got trauma. We all got this. We all got that. I had narcissistic friends. I had all kinds of damn friends. But you know how far you can go with those people. You don't get in a fucking relationship with them. You don't let them stay up in your shit all the time. I knew that. And for most years and years and years, I kept that kind of shit at a distance. I'll see y'all when I see you. Y'all go home now. And we'll be talking again. That's how that went, really. Really. Till this last person came into my life. And for me to let somebody in all the way like that. Okay, but the answer to that question, yeah, there were a lot of things. It's very hard. It's very, very hard living with an alcoholic. Everything in your life will change. There will be, things that people on the outside don't understand. And a lot of times, they can be quite childlike in a lot of ways. You have to do a lot for them, keep up with them a lot. It really is all going to depend on that person, But I think personally, I've seen people in functioning alcoholic relationships. It's all going to depend on are they a functioning alcoholic or not, too. Are they full-on, bedridden, do nothing, drink night and day? Are they depressed? It's all going to depend on what's going on in their life. I mean, and I really hate to beat up on somebody, especially when they've had a tragedy. That's why they're drinking to cope, and that's why they're struggling and having so many troubles. But goddamn, man, fair is fair. You can't just go over the fucking line for years and years and fucking keep using your tragedy as an excuse to shit on people. Enough is enough. Now, I'm going to answer that question. By far, I've seen alcoholics, full-on alcoholics, that still treat their partners very well. Now, they might be fucked up, they might be all sloppy, and they might get on your nerves with their own little, but I've seen functioning alcoholics that drink day and night, that keep a job, that treat their partner well, that don't go out of their way to torment their partner. They may get on their partner's nerves with that sloppy drunk shit if their partner don't drink. But other than that, you can function with an alcoholic. It's not the alcoholism that's the problem, okay? That was never a problem for me. Even though it's tough living with that, that wasn't my problem with my last partner. I didn't give a shit if he drank or not. That's his business. I didn't try to stop him from that. The hard liquor, yeah, because that was driving him crazy and it was putting him in the hospital every other week. Finally, he got over onto just beer. But as far as that, I didn't care. I'm used to that. Have you some beer? That's cool. I've been around that all my life, whatever. But, you're still not going to get the best out of that person when they're an alcoholic. They're still going to take a lot of chances. They're going to make a lot of mistakes. It's going to give you a lot of anxiety. I will not say that's an easy life by any means. But if it's the question of who's worse, living with an alcoholic or a covert narcissist, where that person has just got narcissistic personality, oh, by far, it'd be the narcissist. And if that person has core personality of narcissist and they're an alcoholic, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Okay. By far, though, even though living with an alcoholic is going to keep your heart rate and your anxiety and, depending on who they are, but by far, it is worse to come out of a relationship with a covert narcissist. The covert narcissist, here's why. I'm going to tell you why. Because generally, unless that alcoholic is a narcissist in their core personality, that's got to be in there underneath everything. Other than that, they will just exhibit some surface alcoholic narcissism, which is caused primarily by their alcoholism. It's causing them to be fragile. It's causing them to be a bit immature. It's causing them to, do certain little things, but that's as far as it goes. But if the narcissism is in their core personality, oh my God, they're going to have abusive, sadistic, tormenting types of tendencies towards you. It's going to start coming outward towards you. Whereas just the plain alcoholic, well, a lot of times alcoholics are notorious for being out of control and obnoxious and abusive and boundary breaking. That happens with a lot of alcoholics. But that narcissistic personality, man, I'm just saying, I've seen some alcoholics that weren't abusive, that weren't tormenting, that did not come after their partner all the time. They just drank their alcohol, they went to work, and they chilled out. It's going to depend on who the fuck that person is, how much trauma are they carrying around that they haven't dealt with. That it's all going to depend. But man, if they've got narcissistic personality in their core being, their personality, that will fuck you up worse than any alcoholic ever could. Way more dysfunction, way more, because the narcissist that's in their core personality, they are going to be deliberately coming for you all the time with every tactic they've got in the book. undermine you, devalue, own you, control you, scare you, make you insecure, knock you off your pedestal. You can't show happiness, jealousy, envious of your happiness, envious of your success. They want you lower than them. They want to one-up you. They want to compete with you. The covert narcissist is just, oh my God. They want all your attention all the time. They want you to be a servant. They don't want you to have your own life, your own money. They want your ass beneath them, begging them for $1, and then they want to throw that dollar in your face. It's a mess, y'all. I'm saying. In my opinion, now, living with an alcoholic, I wouldn't recommend it. Tell them to get some help first. But, in my opinion, living with an alcoholic without narcissism in their core personality would be far easier than even living with a sober covert narcissist. You're in for a world of shit because the covert narcissist wants to torment you. They want to torment you. It gives them a release. It makes them feel better about their life when you are miserable, when you're crying, when you're stressed out, when you're off balance, when things aren't going well in your world. Oh my God, and I invited that right into my life with all of my dear little belongings and everything I worked so hard for, and all of my sweetness and my kindness, my compassion, and all the things that he was going to despise the most. I invited that into my world because it's like I invited a vampire into my house. But that's the answer to that question, okay? Personally, I could deal with people drinking as long as they can handle their liquor, their alcohol, mind their fucking business, be respectful, don't break boundaries. Be fucking mature. Alcoholics, fine. Sorry you're like that. I hope they can get some help. But you know, there are a lot of people that drink, and they're gonna drink, and I never had a problem with that. I have a fucking problem with people who are fucking tormented, and they torment other people because of it. Now that is a problem, okay? And a lot of people, when they get up 40 years old, 50 years old, they've drank so much that their liver is shot. So that alcohol isn't processing. It's going straight to their fucking brain. And they're going to start acting like a toddler within about, 45 minutes to an hour. They can't handle it anymore. The brain chemistry, everything, it just goes, oh God. So, you know, it just depends on the person. But yeah, narcissistic personality disorder is no fucking joke. It's one of the most devastating things I've ever been through in my life. It wasn't really because of the alcoholism. The alcoholism would cause that person to drop their mask and start breaking boundaries and being overboard. Now, they would control themselves better when they weren't drunk. So I would always think, oh, if you were just sober, we would get along, you know, everything would be fine. He was just hiding it. He was just hiding what he really thought, what he really felt, what he really wanted to do. And alcohol enabled all that shit to come right on out. Everything that was already in that core personality. Just like when he left and went and got on another substance and sobered up more, took something to balance out that alcohol. Oh, everything that he must have been harboring against me came out. Like, it's just a mess. It's just a fucking mess. How the hell do I get involved with shit like this? I'll be in therapy until, not just for the rest of my life. I've already been in therapy most of my life. I will be in therapy for the next 5 fucking lifetimes. Because of this shit. I don't know how the fuck, what I was thinking, I fucking knew better. I knew better than all of that. Why him? Why? Yeah, that was the advantage he had because he lost his child. And we don't have to show compassion to anybody to the point where it's going to wreck our life, whether they lose their child or not. That's just whatever. Their losses, sorry for your loss. I should have protected myself more, and I didn't. I was also in a very vulnerable time at that time, and narcissists can smell that. They sit around on the internet watching, okay? Watching a bunch of different people, waiting and lurking for when you're broken up with your boyfriend, when you might be losing your place, when you're struggling financially. Isn't it funny how they start messaging you all of a sudden? You need some money? You need some help? They want you. They put out little bait traps, and they want you to invite them in, like a vampire. You know, a vampire can't come in unless you invite them in. Or wait, what is that? Or the man of the house has to invite them in, or the head of the house. What is that? It's something like that. But that's what they do, because they want it to look like it's all you. Everything. They bait and switch everything. So they will bait you. Oh, yeah, I need, and I'll take it out. Come on in. Yeah. They do that shit. They want you, they put these little lures out. They want you to invite them into your world. They want to feel guilt-free about anything they're doing. Well, you asked for it. You invited me. You went out on that limb for me. You told me I could. I'm sick of y'all's ass.